Hello everybody. Today is September the 1st. Where has the year gone? I mean, time is just flying anymore. You know, when you're young, when you're little, and your parents always say you know, time flies, time goes by so quick. But I always thought in terms of the school year or from one Christmas to the next, and it just seemed to drag by. I thought, how can they say time flies, you know? And when I was little, it used to seem like there was 10 years between each Christmas. And now it seems like 10 weeks. But that's neither here nor there. Time certainly has a way of getting away from us. In the news, well, this has been in the news for a while, but I was just hearing on the news a while ago, Gary Giordano, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. He is in jail in Aruba. He's being held because he was the last person seen with Gardner. She is the 35-year-old woman who went missing in Aruba, sort of the same way Natalee Holloway did. They just said on the news that the judge has ordered him to stay in jail another 60 days while they do some more on the investigation. Now, for those of you who haven't heard this, Gardner was the woman who went missing in Aruba. She went there with Gary Giordano. They met on Match.com, which I think it's like a twisted story, so to speak, because she had a boyfriend, which she still does, but she had a boyfriend. But she met this Gary Giordano. She's 35 years old. He's 50. And she met him on Match.com. They got together. They decided to go to Aruba. Well, her boyfriend was shocked by this. Shocked that she went to Aruba with another man. But he said that they had talked while she was in Aruba about getting a house together when she came back. I guess he was going to forgive her and they was going to work things out or whatever. But anyway, somehow Gardner meets Gary Giordano on Match.com. They go to Aruba. They go snorkeling, which her friends say is so unlike her because they say she's the kind of girl that will sit with a drink and watch the water instead of getting in it. But he claims they went snorkeling and they had to get out of the water quick, and he motioned for her it was time to go because he sensed danger, and that he swam for shore, and when he got there she was nowhere to be found. That's his story, and he's sticking to it. There are some witnesses down there that say that they saw this couple walking on the beach, but they never saw them get in the water. Either he killed her and disposed of her body, he might have sold her. Who's to say that Natalee Holloway wasn't sold? I mean, come on now, she might have been. Not very likely, but that's still a possibility, I guess. But, so this, and then come to find out, at the end of that week, the guy went to get Gary Giordano went to board his plane to come back to the States, and apparently they both had a round-trip ticket or whatever, but he told them at the airport that his flight companion had decided to take another flight, which that was a lie there because she was already missing at that time. She didn't tell him she was going to take another flight. He made that up in the airport, so he's making things up as he goes. Well, I think at the airport is where they caught him at. And they wouldn't let him leave Aruba, and they kept him there. And also, as it turns out, he had bought insurance, traveler's insurance, on the both of them for I think $1 million or 1.5 million, somewhere like that. And his mother was the beneficiary of him if anything was to happen to him. But he was the beneficiary of Robin Gardner's insurance policy if something was to happen to her. Now, how convenient is this? He's going to meet this girl on Match.com, so that way he don't know her real well, you know, and he don't have any emotional ties with her. He's going to take an insurance policy out on her, take her over there, kill her, come back, get $1.5 million. But, so I guess they're going to hold him for another 60 days. That's a body that they'll probably never find, just like Natalee Holloway. And I bet you at the end of 60 days, he'll get out of jail, he'll come back to the States, and he'll probably do the same thing over again. Also, Joran van der Sloot. You know, he's the one responsible for Natalee Holloway's disappearance in Aruba. Well, you know he's in a Peruvian prison awaiting trial for the murder of Stephanie Flores. They're saying now that in Peruvian jails that you can only be held for 18 months without being formally charged. And apparently he's not been formally charged with the murder of Stephanie Flores because they said that they're still investigating. And according to Peruvian law, if they do not formally charge him by December, he will walk out of there a free man. So I'm wondering, how long does an investigation take? It's been almost 1.5 years since that girl died. And everybody knows he killed her. It's practically on tape. And he even admitted to it and then took it back. But look at all the stories he gave about Natalee Holloway, too. He's a habitual liar, but he's not lying that he did kill a girl. But if he walks free, then he'll probably end up going back to Aruba if he walks free. But anyway, I think Alabama has warrants for Joran van der Sloot on charges of what do you got, embezzlement, where he got so many hundreds of thousands of dollars from Natalee's mother. So, but I don't think that that Alabama, you know, is going to go to Aruba and arrest him and bring him back. I don't know how that would even possibly work, because you know he's not going to go to Alabama. So if any of you know how that would work, you know, let me know, let me comment, but I'm not sure how that would work. And I'm going through my notes here. Not too much else going on in the news, except you know that Casey Anthony had to come back to Orlando to start her probation. And so, you know, I just wish they would leave that out of the news and just let them do whatever they got to do down there and be done with it. I am so tired of every time I turn over there, they're talking about Casey Anthony. It seems like that's all you ever hear about. And speaking of Casey Anthony, Top Mom, check my text. Nancy Grace is going to be on Dancing with the Stars this year. For all of you who watch Dancing with the Stars, me, I don't watch Dancing with the Stars. I'm not a reality TV person. That's not me. But there, you know, a lot of people like it. But anyway, Nancy Grace is going to be on there. And I said I would actually watch that show if she danced against Top Mom. And wonder how she would feel getting beat out by Top Mom. That would make for an interesting show. A lot of people would watch that. But I don't know how well Nancy Grace will do. I'm not a real big Nancy Grace fan. I used to be. But it's like lately she would just... If she's talking to somebody and they don't agree with her, she'll cut them off. And I don't like that. You know, she won't let them say what they got to say. She had a talk show too, something other Justice. It comes on every day at 3 o'clock, I think. and she was on there for one season. I saw it advertised the other day, and they've got a new judge that's going to be on there this year. And so, come to find out, they said that she was fired from that show for something. I can't remember what it was for. But anyway, I watched it a couple times, and to me, Nancy Grace is just too over dramatic. She goes overboard. And I know on YouTube, some people leave comments and tell me I'm over dramatic. How can I be over dramatic sitting here talking in my own living room? I'm hardly funny. Well, sometimes I am, but I'll just sit here and talk. Somebody left a comment the other day and said, under one of my videos, and said, get on with it. Get on with what? You know, if you don't like what I'm saying, don't watch. That's neither here nor there. How did I get on the subject of my videos from Nancy Grace? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, but if any of you know anything else about Robin Gardner and Gary Giordano, just leave a comment or a video. I'd like to hear what you have to say. They also said that, I think it was on Gary Giordano's, I'm not sure whether it was his computer or his phone. It was something in his possession that they found semi-nude pictures of Robin Gardner. And they said her friends and family are saying that's something she would have never done. So either they were semi-nude pictures and he had cameras set up probably to where she didn't know he was taking those pictures. But, oh, and then the kids know a man that he was a science teacher that is in the hospital. He may die, but he apparently had this girlfriend, had this woman. Now he's 60, she was 57. And he had moved in with her, and she had apparently put him out 4 days before the incident happened. But she put him out. Apparently he still had a key. He came into her home in the middle of the night and poured gasoline on her bed and set her on fire. And she was able to get up and leave the house. She ran out of the house and ran down the street to the chief of police's house. He was their neighbor. And she was able to run to the house of the chief of police. And Mr. Winters followed her, and he was on fire too. So they're both running down the street in the middle of the night, both of them on fire. They said it's not clear at this time whether he accidentally set himself on fire when he was setting her on fire, or whether he set her on fire and then set himself on fire. But the man had the devil in him because he was still running and still chasing her. And that's just scary. Like I said, my kids knew him. He was the science teacher. Scary, scary, scary. You just don't know who's teaching your children. Anyway, I think I've bored you long enough if you've sat here this far. And so I'll probably make a video tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to make it about. I've not been watching a lot of CNN lately. I'm going to have to get back in there and see what's going on. And so until next time, bye-bye.